this new video game called Control, although I guess it's not that new at this point.
It's pretty. I mean, I think like a week is still qualifies as pretty new.
Pretty new. I feel like it's been out. It feels like it's been out longer than that, but I don't actually know. Also, I'm gonna change the stream settings, and also I'm gonna fucking echo for a second because I forgot that Mixer always auto plays your own streams for some reason.
Yes, it sure does.
Let's see. How do I do things on this interface? Broadcast dashboard. Here we go.
It's the broadcast dashboard.
What do you mean sign in? I'm already fucking signed in, man. Jesus Christ. This is a very fun stream.
Welcome back to the On the Stick technical difficulty stream.
I mean, it's not technical I just signed into Mixer like an hour ago so I could check and make sure everything was, and now it wants me to sign in again. At least I remember my password this time.
Good job.
Game that you're streaming. Control. Mole Control. Ground Control Simulator. Control Craft 2. Control Craft 3. Missile Control. Source Control. Control. There's no Ground Control 1? Or sorry, Control
like
Craft 1?
Just like there's no Zombie 1.
And no crying in baseball?
There is no crying in baseball.
Alright, whatever. Probably good enough. Let's go. Start a new game. We'll increase the brightness a smidge because I think video games are always a little bit too dark.
Yeah, that's often the case.
Headphones. English. We'll turn the subtitles on.
Have you played this at all, or this is your first?
I just booted up.
Experience?
I just finished downloading it like 20 minutes ago.
Nice. And of course, this is the latest game from Remedy, the folks behind Max Payne 1 and 2, but not 3, right? Does that sound right?
Yep, 3 was Rockstar.
Yeah, and Alan Wake and Quantum Break. Was that what it was called?
Alan Wake and Quantum Break. You can tell they were made by the same company because they rhyme.
They rhyme. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Gonna be
sounds legit
than usual.
This is going to be weirder than usual.
Can't be helped.
We strive for weirder than usual in these parts, or at least I do.
I have to have some light on my monitor. My face doesn't show up.
Yeah, you're.
I'm shrouded in darkness.
Shadowy figure. Yeah. Okay.
I know I shut you out.
But Max Payne 1 is one of the most fun video games that I've ever played my entire life.
It's just that I get my
Even with that dick in a bear trap grimace?
I mean, that's one of the best things about the game.
There you go.
Is Sam Lake's constant grimacing.
Yeah.
I love that the game's producer was just put himself in there as the guy as the lead character. I love the weird comic book panels. I mean the weird dream sequences are a little too long, but
yeah, and not like the Batman Arkham Scarecrow sequences or any. They're just a little too.
A landscape.
Yeah. Well, anyways. Yeah, Max Payne is pretty good. I don't think I actually ever played the second one, but
it's
I heard
also
it was
very
also
good.
Mm-hmm. I liked the third one. I never finished it. I do own it, but I liked the third one, even though I know it wasn't developed by Remedy. Alan Wake is the weirdest. So people who've been following us for a long time will remember that game came up like an inordinate number of times on our old podcast for whatever reason.
Yeah, we talked about it all the time.
And I ended up buying it during a GameFly sale for like $5, and I still haven't played it. Even though I like horror games and I like Remedy's games, and everybody I know liked that game, for some reason I've just never stuck it in my 360 and played it. So
all right, it's good. If you like
And I heard-
Remedy's style of writing or Stephen King stories, then
Yeah, and I do like both of those things. And I've heard that people
gameplay is
Alan-
like so. It's good enough to get you through, but it's not really exciting. You just shine flashlights at dudes and then shoot them.
Yeah, and I've heard people liked Alan Wake's American Nightmare, but apparently it is quite different from Alan Wake, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
If you only want to spend like 3 or 4 hours with Alan Wake, American Nightmare is not a bad way to go though.
Okay. And now this game, I get the vibe that this is sort of a big budget realization of what PsyOps was trying to do on the PS2.
Yeah, or just like a better version of Quantum Break, which I own, but I never actually played.
Anyone here?
Yeah, I don't know. I actually bought PsyOps at the flea market a couple months
PsyOps
ago.
is
Based on
dope.
your
Or,
recommendation.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was when it came out in the 90s or whatever.
Yeah, I never played it at the time, and I still haven't. And you have said that before, and it was $5 at the flea market. So I grabbed it along with a handful of other cheap collecting games from that era. Anybody who's dumb enough to speculate on old video games.
What do you think
if
about
you're
these
one of those
flag
people-
cloth physics here?
The flag, part of them are impressive, but the fact that the fold just will not come undone is weird.
I can like twist it up, but I can't make
Yeah.
it unfold. How about this
You
flag?
can't make it unfold.
And then there's like
It's
an
really weird.
invisible wall like underneath it, so you can't.
That's bizarre. Yeah, if you're a person who wants to speculate on old video games, which is a dumb thing to do, but if you're that person, now is the time. You can get on the ground floor of PS2 and Xbox and GameCube games right now. They are dirt fucking cheap. People can't give games away for those systems, with like few exceptions of like very particular games that are sort of sought after. But
Yeah.
like for the most part, you can get 90% of the PS2 library for $5 right now if you go to like a used game
You can get
store
every
or a
Madden. You
convention.
can get every sports game for the PlayStation 2 ever made for like $20 total.
Yes, but if you're speculating on retro sports games, you're real dumb. You're extra dumb. If you're
Well,
speculating
no,
on
just
those.
to have the whole collection,
Oh yeah, if you're just trying to complete.
All right,
it.
I'm gonna
Like,
turn. I have ray tracing turned on a little bit, and I'm gonna turn it way up just to look at. But I have a feeling that the frame rate's just gonna like. go
I
right
didn't. I
into
thought your
that.
video card wasn't that.
I might have
think-
spent a bunch of extra money on a video gate card not too long ago. Who can say?
Really? Did I know that? Did you say that to me?
Probably not.
Or
Oh,
okay.
looks like maybe I crashed the game.
too much rays. Too many
Yeah,
rays.
too
much
many
tracing.
rays. Whoop. Yep, it's just gone.
While you
Maybe
figure
it
out-
requires a restart to do that.
I guess. So while you're doing that, let's talk a little bit about today's Nintendo Direct, which I didn't watch because it was at the exact moment that I commute home from work.
Hmm.
So I was riding my bike through the Gulch here in Nashville when the Nintendo Direct was happening. So
I skipped through the Giant Bomb talks over the Nintendo Direct. Like I just skipped through it so I could see most of the stuff. I mean, honestly, there was a lot of like really cool stuff announced. But
Like
the
Overwatch.
thing the most important thing to me is the fact that Tokyo Mirage Session is coming out on Switch, which is that's that's probably my second favorite SMT game, maybe third behind Persona 3 and Devil Survivor 2. It's like right up there, more than
Wow.
Persona 4, more than Persona 5, more than
more than
SMT.
Persona 1?
I mean, I don't think I played the first one. I played some of the
man,
some of 2. I played what other
I played
games?
the
I
first
played
one
some
when
of
it
the
was
Devil Summoner. Some of those
Sure.
PlayStation, there's some weird PlayStation 2 ones that I've put like 10 to 15 hours in.
Weren't there some on the DS that people liked as well?
There's SMT, like Shin Megami Tensei 4 proper is on 3DS. I didn't care for that at all. I thought it was super boring.
Wasn't there...
Devil Survivor 2 is one of my favorite tactical RPGs. So
What about Digital Devil Saga? Isn't that a thing people like? I don't know. I know
Yes.
so little about SMT. It's embarrassing. I played the.
there's a
original-
lot of those games.
There's a whole bunch of those. I played the original Persona on PlayStation when it was new, and I didn't like it. And I played Persona 3 because you guys all talked a lot about it. And for me, I actually played a lot of it, considering it's a JRPG. I put about 15 or 20 hours
this
into
don't
it.
run too bad, even with me streaming. You can really see like the ray tracing stuff and the reflection in this picture, basically.
Yeah.
Um, like that's the. We'll see what the frame rate does once I start doing stuff. I might have to turn it back down, but I'm playing in a 1080 by a 1920 by 1080 window,
Yeah.
so that might help keep the frame rate up a little bit instead of my monitor's native resolution. But I'm also streaming at the same time, so I don't expect it to be perfect. But you can also see like the biggest difference for me, like in the little bit of ray tracing stuff that I've seen, is like in dimly lit rooms where there's like dark corners and lighter areas, instead of everything being kind of flatly lit.
Yeah.
But
I feel like Resident Evil 2 could benefit from that. Have you played the new Resident Evil 2 yet? I forgot.
yeah, man, we
You
talked
did.
the shit about that. Yeah, that game
Yeah,
is
that's
fucking
what I
great.
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it could have benefited from some ray tracing though, because some of the dark areas, at least on the PS4 non-pro version, like some of that stuff, I had to just turn the brightness, or not the brightness even, like it has two sliders when you mess with the brightness. Like the gamma, I think, is the one that I ended up having to turn up a little bit just to be able to like kind of see
I
stuff.
don't.
in
Does
some
that
of the
game
dark
have any
areas.
ray tracing stuff in it, or?
I don't. The PC version, I think, maybe does.
This seal.
Maybe if it
saw
doesn't, it could. That's what I'm saying. It could use it.
Yeah. I know like
It's down there.
Battlefield 5 does, Metro, the new Metro
Yeah.
game does.
Yeah, they touted that about the new Metro, right? They
But
talked
yeah,
a lot
like you can
about
really, when you look at like the way her face is lit and the way that like the different features of it stand out.
the
and,
way
like,
the TV sort of
Right.
flickers a little bit. So Overwatch is coming to Switch, which is, I'm honestly surprised it took this long.
I mean, that's the least, like of all of the versions of Overwatch, that's the one I'm least interested in.
Right. I mean, yeah.
Although I
I'm
should
not
pick
gonna
it up
buy
and play
Overwatch
it because I
again.
might be able to make like high diamond or something in that.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Get a Smurf account.
Yeah.
Get a Switch Smurf account for Overwatch. But you have to play with a controller.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think that would be the biggest hindrance for me. Is I don't think I could adjust to playing that game with a controller.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna buy it. If I was gonna buy another version of Overwatch,
Federal.
I just wouldn't at this point. I guess I'm got like
Yeah,
whatever
I-
1,200 hours in the fucking
In plain sight.
PC version of it. So this is a very sharp looking game so far.
So, Luigi's Mansion 3, there's some new information about that. Apparently, there's like an 8-player party
Yeah.
mini.
A team of Luigis. There's a purple Luigi, which is
It's not just
it's
Waluigi.
apparently not. Apparently, and then there's a team of Gooigis, which is very exciting.
I mean, Luigi's pretty good.
I like
know
that.
if I like
that the
Luigi as
stuff
much
in this
as
vending
Luigi.
machine just has. It doesn't even have fake branding on it. It just says what it is: pistachios, pretzels, potato chips,
Yeah.
crackers.
This game actually takes place in the same universe as Repo Man.
Yeah, right. Soda,
Yeah.
beer, trail mix, crackers. What else we got? Protein, fibers.
There are fibers in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's extremely good. That is Pokemon Sword and Shield is still a video game that's happening.
Yeah, I don't know. I might play that. I really liked Sun and Moon. That was the first time I played a Pokemon game since the OG Pokemon games, and I thought it was real cool. So I'll wait. I'll let Coffee play it and then find out what he thinks of it.
And then listen to what he complains about, and then
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of it depends on, like, if it's basically the same as Sun and Moon with a slightly different story, then I might pass on this one and wait a few years before I dip back into Pokemon stuff. But
I almost got Let's Go Eevee just because I played enough Pokemon Go, like the summer it came out, to have like a fairly decent Pokedex in that game, and so it would have been. I mean, I still think about it from time to time. Like, well, I could just get Let's Go Eevee, and I'd have like half of the Pokedex filled right from the beginning.
Excuse me.
oh,
But
I found
I
a
don't know, I
janitor.
just-
Hang on.
You know, he's gonna try to kill you, man.
Worrier about the job. Janitor's assistant. You need to go to the interview. Go that way to the elevator.
What?
Thanks. Elevator that way. Got it.
Very good. I'm Ahti, the janitor.
It's Ati the janitor.
You work for me. You can say I sent you. If they don't hire you, they axe.
What?
Them behind the sound.
What?
I've done enough night shift loner jobs to know it makes us come off weird. Lottie the janitor is a friendly face in my book.
Better than somebody with no face
This
at all.
sure is a Remedy game.
Okay,
Think about it. No
so he heard her like
That said, I know what you're thinking. If there's an axe murderer around, that's
he
it.
heard her narration and then replied to it, which is pretty good.
Mm.
I also like that one of the pictures on the wall in the intro was him. Although now the pictures are different.
Yeah, I'm into that. I'm into weird shit. Xenoblade Chronicles, the definitive edition, is apparently happening. which
I
is-
don't care about. That's the. Is that the Wii one? That's the
I think that's the yes, because Xenoblade X maybe was
X
the
is the Wii U one. I bought that and played like 10-ish hours of it, and it's real
I was
cool.
11 years
But
old the first time I saw
um,
behind the poster. They told me I imagined it.
it was like
I
it was
bet
kind of
you
hard to
haven't
play on a
played it
small
ever
screen
since.
for some reason.
Yeah.
Will you help?
But the jumping is real good.
Yeah.
You jump ridiculously high, and the map is huge, and but you move super fast, so it doesn't feel that bad. It's really weird. Like the scale is all off, but it's off in a way that is kind of fun.
Okay.
And it's like set in the way distant future when giant arc ships land on distant planets and people come out of cryo freeze, and then they land they land the ships on the planet to set up new civilizations. And so there's like all these prefab houses and stuff that go up, and then you're out like fighting monsters and exploring the territory and learning what you can about the planet. It was pretty fucking cool. I'm glad that
Learning
game
what
and
you-
Tokyo Mirage Session they're coming out, because those are two games that were kind of like lost in the Wii U purgatory that deserve better.
Yeah. And yet, Story by Sam Lake, he is still at Remedy, obviously.
Oh yeah, he's still. Yeah.
Is his face in this game though? That's the real question.
I'm pretty sure that he is in the
You know
game.
what's on my mind. My baby brother, Dylan.
I think you'll
17
see maybe
years since
not
the
too
men
far.
of this bureau took him.
Going down what was announced. Like, how is Mario 3D World still stuck in Wii U purgatory? Like,
I'm sure that that's coming. at
how
some
is that a
point.
thing?
I mean,
It has to be, right? Like,
I personally, I'd rather have them put out the Mario Galaxy games in a collection of some sort first, just because I'm further away from those games, and I'd be more interested in replaying them now than I would. But I mean, that game
sure,
deserves to come out. For sure.
selfishly, I agree with you, but in terms of, I think more people deserve to experience Super Mario 3D World because it's super fucking good. That's why I want it to come to Switch, because like I feel like a street prophet being like, no, I'm telling you, Mario 3D World is one of the best Mario games ever made. It's like a realization of Mario 3 but in 3D, and people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because nobody played the damn thing.
It's really good. I don't know if I'd
really
go
good.
that far, but it's really good.
I liked it a lot. It's one of my favorite 3D Mario games. Although almost all the 3D Mario games are super good,
Yeah,
like, except
that's.
for Sunshine.
I was gonna
so
say it's better than Sunshine. I don't think it's as good as Galaxy 1 or 2, but
I would put it in that company. I think I'd have to replay all three of them sort of side by side to formulate a good opinion on that.
there's also not a lot of 3D Mario games.
The last time I restarted Galaxy 1, I felt like the opening like couple of planets were kind of boring.
You want me to pick it up? The murder
But
weapon?
I didn't press on far enough to get to the really challenging stuff that I
Yeah.
remember loving a whole lot. So
Something's
I think
outside.
probably that game
This could
is
be your mistake.
real fun when you get
Oh,
to the
shit.
parts where it's like a little bit harder.
I found the fun in the game.
To the murder weapon,
No.
walking into things and knocking them over,
Clipping through this.
clipping through a cart.
Yeah. Let's see if I can wear the cart for the rest of the game.
So there's a free-to-play Kirby game coming out that I don't think I need that in my life. I mean, I love Kirby just as much as the next guy, I guess. But
Yeah, there's a bunch of Animal Crossing stuff.
Trials of Mana remake.
What's his face from Fatal Fury is in Smash.
Is it Terry? That was what everybody
Yeah.
was saying. Right?
Hat guy. It's the it's the guy from Fatal Fury.
Right. Yes. Along with Goemon, Proto Man, Zeros, and Team Rocket skins and Sans skins for the Mii fighters.
And a Megalomania remix, which I know that's cool, but I mean, if you're gonna, I would rather them have an actual.
Yeah. Oh, Demon X Machina has a new demo today. Oh, Return of the Obra Dinn is coming to Switch.
Yeah, that's good. That's another great
I
game.
still haven't played that, so. Oh, Deadly Premonition 2. How is this not the first thing people mentioned to me?
Yeah, Deadly Premonition 2. I mean,
Look at this place.
That sounds pretty good to me, Zach.
Alright.
Oh man, I'm in a weird abstract world.
Jedi Knight 2.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
Why not? I guess Doom 64.
That's the
heard rumors
weirdest.
about that.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing.
So I'm actually into that because Doom 64 is actually pretty fucking good.
I
And it's
mean-
like not just an N64 version of Doom. Like it's a different game. You know.
Yep.
It's
And
pretty
if
good.
you can play it with something other than a Nintendo 64 controller,
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
kind of hard to tell if it's good or not, because
Yeah, exactly. Also, I haven't bought any of the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic games.
that weird 2D thing is kind of neat.
This one with the retro sprites and everything looks like it could be fun.
Oh man, crazy
The
magic
Witcher
gun.
3 rumors were true.
I think I have this gun in Destiny too.
Okay. Now I have.
So the Witcher 3 rumors were obviously true, as it turns out.
Yeah.
More Just
The
Dance.
Switcher.
Everybody loves that. Vampire is coming to.
I don't like some of those games. I don't know that I want to play them on Switch.
Yeah,
I
but it's cool that people who only have a Switch.
yeah, it is. But I just like, how is The Witcher 3 gonna fucking run on Switch? Even if it is only running at like 720p resolution, just like part of the like a pretty big chunk of the fun of playing that game is like the majesty of the wilderness that you get to explore.
Right. It'd be like if they tried to put Uncharted 4 on the Switch. You'd be like, well, part of the fun is like looking at how gorgeous all the nature stuff looks, and if that's not in there, because the system can't handle it, like it's maybe not quite as enjoyable. I don't know. I mean, I think, it's also like not for either one of us, right? Like they're not putting Witcher 3 on Switch so that people who have PS4s and high-end PCs, which both of us have both of, right? Like, so those
Right.
people can play Witcher 3. They're putting it on.
I keep
there so
forgetting
that
I have a
people who only
PS4, but I
Switch.
do.
You do. Is Beat Saber on PS4 VR, or is it that a Oculus only
You
thing?
/ we wield the gun / you.
Sure.
The gun is some kind of.
Why do these look like the bad guys in Super Hot put on pajamas? But hey, let's talk about old games for a second, I guess.
Yeah, that's the other big thing. I saw the list and I saw there was some pretty good games on it, but I didn't see the whole thing.
Well, let's go over it. Let's talk about
Let's
it.
go over it.
Super Mario World. How many of these games did we
Super
drop
Mario
for
World
Super NES
is a
draft?
pretty fucking good video game. I feel confident
Yeah.
making that bold statement.
Yep.
Not
Super
everyone,
Mario
maybe
Kart.
not everybody agrees with me, but I think it's good. That's
It's
what I
pretty
mean.
good.
Yeah.
That's a bold claim. To
Yeah.
say Super Mario World is a good.
I
video
might
game.
go as far as to say that is one of the few perfect video games that has ever existed, and
Yeah, it's
whatever.
Real good. That's a real good video game.
For $20 a year to have access to that is pretty good. What else they got? Whoa.
Super Mario Kart.
Okay, I mean, you boot that up, play it for like 20 minutes.
I played
or
it on the
whatever.
stream last week.
Yeah.
It's totally okay.
Is this FMV?
I'm sorry.
I think this is FMV.
I'm watching. You're still in control of her, from what I can tell.
Oh,
so
okay.
I think that's not true. Oh wait.
You stop.
I mean, you got the Rachel. Oh yeah, that looks. Yes. I think that's FMV. Pretty sure that at least some of this is FMV.
This
Speaking
game,
of which,
this
I need
game
to- I need
seems
to get
fucking
Telling
awesome,
Lies.
Joe.
Yeah, it seems like it. I'm It's on my, like I said, this is on my GameFly queue. It wasn't available, so I got Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which I also haven't played yet. So whatever. But I'm gonna be playing this eventually for sure. This does seem pretty good and super fucking weird.
Oh shit! I died. I forgot how to melee.
I hate it when I forget how to melee.
I mean, it's hard to pick up a new game and talk at the same time.
Yeah,
I will give myself the out there.
You should. That's a valid out.
Maybe I should be playing
Legend of
with mouse and
Zelda: A
keyboard
Link
too,
to
I
the
don't know.
Past.
Yeah, I mean, talk about fucking the best video game that has ever been made.
I mean, I personally would not say that I think that's the best video game that's ever been made, but I certainly wouldn't look askance at a person who professed that.
It's certainly in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that it is. Oh, look, now the pictures all are of me because I'm the director because I have the magic gun, apparently.
Nice. I love magic guns.
Man, this game's fucking wild.
So I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but the whole gimmick is supposed to be that at some point you got like psychic powers and you can like rip
Yes.
walls out and bury people.
Well,
in,
I mean, I already have like a
rubble.
telekinetic punch kind of a thing that like throws papers and stuff. Holy shit. Oh, damn, dude. Hell yeah.
I'm like ever so. Are you on the low latency?
I have no idea. Oh, shit.
This channel is not streaming in FTL low latency.
Oh, I'm not. Okay, whatever.
You're not.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, you're blowing up the walls though. That's pretty dope.
Wait till I blow up the potted plants. That flag
shit.
still won't move, though. Oh, man, I blew up the water. Wow.
So that's all you have right now though, is this like
Yeah, I can't
punch?
pick up rocks and stuff just yet.
You can't throw a bag of potato chips at someone, or fiber, a bar of fiber, or a bar of
Fiber.
protein. Yeah.
Is there a man? I just came up with my new marketing scheme. My new product. It's called the Five Bar.
Yeah. All right. So Super Metroid.
Super Metroid. Not my cup of tea necessarily, but another one of those games that is in the conversation for best fucking video game ever made. So.
Yeah.
I feel like
Sunrise
if you were
FX.
only gonna have 3 Super Nintendo games, that's probably the
Mario
3.
World, Zelda,
Yeah.
and Metroid, or yeah, Stunt Race FX, which is not, I don't think, a very good game, but it's interesting and it's kind of cool that it's on there.
Yeah, that
It's a
is.
Super FX chip game, and it was never on Virtual Console or anything.
No,
so.
that wasn't on. Was that on the? That wasn't on the SNES Classic either. Was it?
This article says first release. I'm reading a Newsweek rundown, and this says
I think I
first-
bemoaned the
first
fact
release
that it
since
wasn't
the
on
original
that.
cartridge.
Yeah, I think I bemoaned the fact that it wasn't on that. So
Yeah. Kirby's Dream Land 3.
okay, that's a fun game.
Yeah. Yoshi's Island.
All right. You mean Super Mario World 2, the sequel to Super Mario World?
Yes, definitely this year. I mean, Touch Fuzzy Get Dizzy is Touch Fuzzy Get Dizzy is Super Mario, so Yoshi's Island,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Star Fox, which is that's a good video game, I guess. That's an important historical artifact. Star Fox is.
Yeah, Star Fox is all right. I mean, that's another those are the Super Nintendo games that you want.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but Star Fox is one where
What the fuck is going on?
like Star Fox 64 is really sort of the realization of what Star Fox was trying to do in a way that
Yeah.
it's like Super Mario World and Mario 64 are like very, very different games. Where like the existence of Mario 64 does not make Super Mario World sort of unnecessary, but Star Fox 64 kind of makes the original Star Fox like an unnecessary.
Yeah, but
thing
they
to
haven't.
do.
I mean, I don't know what. It's another interesting piece of
Yeah,
history.
and I mean,
It's
again,
it's
you're
a
paying
good game.
$20 a year.
I mean,
and
look,
have
you don't
free
want to
access
play
to it,
any
so-
polygonal Super Nintendo games
right?
because they all run like garbage. They, like,
No, like total shit. Yeah.
if you like smooth frame rates, then those are not.
not the games,
tough.
not the games for you. F-Zero,
Okay,
which despite being a launch title, is still a really, really
that's
impressive.
a fun game. Talk about good frame rates.
Yeah. Yep. Pilot Wings, of course. They have the Eric Allen and Joe Drilling demographic in mind because they have put Kirby's Dream Course.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that game rules.
That game does fucking rule. That's one of the best game on the whole list. All right, no, but it's maybe the best golf game of all time. Certainly
If
the
you
best
count it as a
golf
golf game, it's
golf
one of
puzzle
them,
game
yeah.
of all time.
Yeah, for sure. And one of my favorite Kirby games,
Yeah.
honestly. Brawl Brothers, which is all in caps, which is fun. Which, you know, I don't know if that's as good as Hey Punk, Are You Tough Enough? Master the moves to master me. But, you know, Brawl Brothers that's a fine thing, I guess. Breath of Fire 1.
Okay. That seems
Which
like
I
a
don't-
thing that Nintendo called some of those companies and said, "Hey, would you give us a video game?" And Capcom's like, "Do you want Breath of Fire 1?" And it was like, okay, you know?
Yeah, they were like, sure, we'll take that. Why not?
I mean, that is one of the best of the B tier Super Nintendo RPGs.
I
It's
suppose,
totally
but I feel like
serviceable,
Super Nintendo
totally
is
solid.
like an RPG machine.
I mean, it is, but I don't know. Is Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy VI or
No.
I don't know what else.
There are no Square games on this list at all.
Yeah, see, like if you can't get one of those, then Breath of Fire it's a pretty good one of those games. Breath of Fire 2 is much better.
There are no Square or Enix games on this list, unfortunately. No ActRaiser, no
Oh man,
Final Fantasy 2 or 3 or 5 or no Brain Lord. You know, none of that stuff. So, but Demon's Crest is on the list.
Ooh.
And that fucking game rules.
that's
And also
hell yeah,
extremely rare. So,
good shit.
yeah, that's a real good video game.
I believe
highly
I want to
recommend
say that was one of our that was one of the things that we wanted in the SNES Classic quite a bit.
Yes,
'Cause
absolutely.
That's one of
yes,
those
I am.
this is a great video game that nobody's ever played.
Yeah. Here's a weird one that I think it's kind of cool that it's on there. Joe and Mac 2,
Sure, that's the co-op
which
one,
is
right?
like yeah, it's like a pretty late era Super NES, also fairly rare, I believe. Super Ghouls and Ghosts, of course, because Demon's Crest would make you think that Super Ghouls and Ghosts is one of the most readily available video games in history, but it is still also really good. I like that game a lot. I don't think it's. I
like
think,
the Genesis
I think
one
Ghouls
more.
and Ghosts is
Yeah.
better, honestly, but I like Super Ghouls and Ghosts a lot too.
What the fuck is going on here, man?
That seems to be what you're designed to ask throughout this whole game.
These bodies, the way
As I
these
can
bodies
tell.
are hung in the air is very
Yeah,
um,
it's sort of like It.
okay. I was gonna say Gone World, which is a book I read last year
Okay.
and loved the hell
I
out of.
have that. That's on my Amazon wish list because you recommended it.
Yeah, you
I
should
haven't-
read
I
it. It's
haven't read
fucking
yet.
awesome.
But let's see here. EDF Earth Defense Force, which is not related to the current Earth Defense Force.
Yeah, that's a good ass video game too.
But yeah, it's a good ass shoot 'em up.
Oh,
Not the best shoot 'em up on the Super NES, but still pretty good. The first time that in the US we will be able to play Super Puyo Puyo 2, which I guess is probably
Okay.
the sequel to Kirby's Avalanche, but not with Kirby,
yeah. I'd rather have Kirby's Avalanche probably just for the
charm of it.
yeah. That's all right. Puyo Puyos,
and
those are
then-
good games or whatever.
And then Super Soccer and Super Tennis, which are apparently this is their first re-release since their original cart releases. But like, I don't know that anybody was clamoring for Super Soccer like at all whatsoever.
No.
But you know, whatever. I mean, again, I mean, people bemoan the Switch Online service, but like literally, you're paying $20 a year, and
For that library plus all the NES games that are on there, it's like totally worth
Yeah.
it.
totally
my
worth
opinion.
it. And then
Yeah.
also, like, if you're ever gonna play games online, even though it depends on the game, but like when we played the Capcom beat 'em up bundle,
Yeah, we were-
stuff during
at some
Extra Life,
point-
that
at
was
some
real
point-
bad.
Yeah, at some point we need to try like the NES online stuff.
Yeah, we should do that.
Like we could play Excite Bike together.
Yeah, we can play versus Excite Bike,
Yeah.
and we can do the stream thing. Although your screen is probably the screens would be the same on NES games, so maybe doing the stream party or whatever it's called. I don't remember now. Collaborative streaming wouldn't make sense in that case, but yeah, we should do that some week just to see how it runs. Because I don't know if it was Capcom's netcode or what the deal is, but man, the beat 'em up bundle that when me and you and Kurt played through King of Dragons in February, and
Yeah, it's
it
a little
ran
rough.
garbage. So, So is the thing here that these, like, all these security guards are like possessed by a monster or an evil presence or something? Is that what I'm getting?
I'm not sure.
It seems too spooky for them to just be like working on their own power.
I mean,
That's
I'm not 100% sure that they're even.
real.
It's like some kind of weird hive thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who can say? I mean, in giant inverted black pyramid is always a.
Sam Lake can say.
Let me
He could
fix
say.
it.
I think I'm gonna spend some sparks, man.
Okay, yeah.
Make a dumb thing happen on the.
Let's cleanse this point, shall we?
Where do I go to do the stupid thing though? Is it under skills? It's under skills. Okay. I can do a corgi doing like a Fonzie thing. So let's
Oh,
see what
yeah.
happens if I do that. Oh, it's just a sticker. It just pops in there. Okay.
We did it.
So I got a corgi doing.
Can you hear me?
Outfits.
Oh, I can do a fireworks show.
With the Bureau.
Let's do it. See what happens.
I can't tell you how happy I
Like
am.
nothing
to have
happened.
something to say.
That was what a ripoff. I spent 20,000 sparks on that.
Emily Pope.
Emily Pope.
My turn. Should I lie?
Jesse Faden. I'm just visiting.
I should have lied.
You're the new director. Hold on. We're coming out.
Oh man, Emily Pope is evil. Look at her hair.
Faden.
T-
Call me Jesse.
Okay, Jesse. I'm Emily. Look, somehow this hostile force, this
Hiss?
that works.
Oh yeah, that's
This
evil
is
hair.
to infiltrate the building without.
I like that the
Just like that.
bad guys are called Hiss. Isn't that the name of the bad guys from
Like the
G.I.
sound of
Joe?
poison gas.
Well, they were called Cobra, but they had
Hiss
like the
tanks?
hiss tank.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Everywhere and
Yep.
everyone not protected by an HRA, and extraordinarily, you. You are the director, and that makes you special by definition. Trench is no longer the director, obviously. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. This whole situation is just a lot.
It is a lot. I agree.
Trench is dead.
Shot.
This lady is 100% going to betray you by the end of this video.
Oh,
game.
look at her hair, man. She's fucking evil.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, why is she geared up for laser tag? What's going on here?
The service weapon.
Also, and this can sound crazy, but he keeps appearing to me.
I mean, he lives inside the gun now, probably, or whatever.
It's hard to make out.
Like
but
the same way
to
that
cleanse the
Rad
night
Spencer's
shift
wife lives inside the bionic arm.
Yes.
Okay.
The whole room shifted around.
You did that? And you entered the building when it was already in the lockdown before you became the new director? How?
I'm not ready to tell her about you yet.
A janitor let me in.
I love it. This is fucking unbelievable. I can't even. Look, Jesse, I have a million questions, and you probably.
I like the idea that the director of the FBI is
Do you know my
just
brother?
is like the director because he has a magic gun.
But
Makes
there's something
sense
I
to
need
me.
ask
Yeah.
you to do first. If you can cleanse a
What I want to know is how Trump got James Comey to give up the magic gun.
Yeah, right. That's the real question.
By the hiss. Because if that's
That's
possible,
why J. Edgar Hoover was director for so long. Nobody could get a magic gun away from him.
Emily Pope. I don't know her, but I like her already.
I don't. You shouldn't like her. She's evil. Look at
Opposite
her.
of The faceless agency I blame for what happened.
Wow, I
to me
mean,
for
just looking at her tells you that you shouldn't trust her.
But I can't trust
Come
her
on.
Or rather, the bureau she's a part of.
Yes. I can try.
I'm speaking for you, of course. We can try it together. Okay. You with me? We did it before. Push the hiss out.
Is she talking to me? Okay, so these are like fast travel points. Cleanse the Hiss corrupted agent. Is that this? Oh, this lady over here.
Cobra. La 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 la. You have outfits?
I don't have any outfits.
No, but there will be outfits.
Probably. You can dress up as Claire from Resident Evil 2.
It didn't work.
Well,
Hiss has burrowed too deep. Ripping it out rips them apart.
maybe it's those devices that are keeping them from being possessed.
We need to make a plan.
Who knows? This is very weird, but I'm into it.
Huh? Yeah, I'm all in on this so far.
Yeah, this and Astral Chain are my next two modern games to play. After, well, I have Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Kind of
right
waiting
now.
and seeing on that because there's 2 different platinums and
Right, it's not, you need to know which one showed up.
right. Is this Bayonetta platinum or is this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles platinum? You know.
Right.
The Bureau was
I've heard it seems like it's closer to the former from what I've heard so far, but
17.
I've also heard some people say that it might be closer to the latter. So I mean that's the nice thing about GameFly is I can find out. It doesn't
Yeah.
really cost me anything but time. So
I know. I heard enough praise for this that I was comfortable just paying the $60
Maybe
for it.
that's too much already.
yeah. What was the one that I
Can't
oh
tell her about Dylan
so I heard
just
that
yet.
you should I heard roundabout that you should play Blair Witch because it's on Game Pass.
Okay. How about we want to save
Um,
it for some streams in
yeah.
October like we do?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
But I've heard that like the person I saw who was talking about it was saying like, yeah, if you've got Game Pass, it's pretty decent, but it's probably not worth the full asking price. And I was like, oh, I thought that game was going to be like a $15 or $20 game. It's like a $30 game,
Oh.
and I
Well,
was
that's
like,
still, I mean, that's half price, right?
I mean, it is, but like,
I feel
don't
like
know.
$30 is rapidly becoming the standard price for like good indie games and
I guess Telling Lies is 20.
yeah.
Um,
Have you played that?
Not yet, but that's
check
also
that out.
that's one that I'm just gonna buy. That's on my list for sure. That and I want to play Man of Medan, but that's also I think more expensive than I originally thought it was going to be. So maybe I might wait for a sale on that. But I liked her story so much that I'm going to play Telling Lies for sure. I don't
There's
know
a
if I'll get
lot
to
of
it.
games coming out right now that I'm interested in.
Yeah, yeah.
Like things went from 0 to 60 in the course of like a week at the end of
Yeah.
August.
Fucking dude, Link to the Past.
I
Or not
know.
Link to the Past.
Link's Awakening is
Link's
out in like 2
Awakening
weeks.
comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I really want to play that Remnant from the Ashes game. That looks really cool. That's that third-person shooter, Bloodborne, Dark Souls kind of thing.
Yeah.
They call me the
And Kurt and I have only still need to finish that Wolfenstein thing, which we were having
how
fun
was that?
with
You-
until
yeah, say you liked
we
it.
were enjoying it. But then we had a boss fight last night that wasn't that much fun. It was just like this big guy who did tons of splash damage, and then they had these lasers on the floor. And I don't know.
I was looking for answers, but I
I have some problems with the checkpointing in that game, although apparently when the game came out, it just straight up didn't have checkpointing in missions, so
Whoa.
yeah.
So it's already an improvement. is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
But it still would like
Doom's not coming out this year. Still, is it?
November, I believe, for
My
Doom.
God.
I didn't
Yeah.
imagine this. I want to be.
How am I gonna? How much time do these people think I
I
have?
don't know. I was really into that Fire Emblem game that came out in July. I put like 15 hours into that, and I don't know when I'm going to get back to it. But
Yeah. I mean, we talked a little bit about this last week, but that like I was into that Ion. It was called Ion Maiden, and then they changed the name because Iron Maiden sued them. Whatever that's called now, like that. I'm almost grateful. I'm not grateful that those people turned out to be shitty.
Oh
'cause I'm
man,
never
magical
grateful when
rotary
someone-
phones.
I love magical rotary phones. I'm never grateful when someone turns out to be shitty, but like that almost made it easier for me to just be like, well, there's so many games that I want to play. Like, I
Fuck
guess
it.
I don't need to bother with this one. Like, even though I was interested in it, you know. that Ninja Warriors game got bumped again for
Where did these
US.
come from?
So now it's out in Japan
Sure.
and it's out in
Except
Europe,
this
but
is
the
huge.
US version got bumped to the end
Did
of
you see
October,
anything
which
like
I'm
that outside
probably kind of
before you
grateful
came
for
in?
that too, I guess, ultimately.
No.
Mhm.
No, just
But
inside
and then River City Girls comes out like next
Mhm.
week, which is a thing that I'm
This
very
house
much
is
on the
like a
hype train for.
sprawling complex with
Because
openings
it looks
to
like it's going to be
other
better
places
than
as
River
well.
City Ransom
I don't
Underground,
even know
which
where
is a
to
game that I
start.
still liked. But at least when it
But
first
in
came,
the
like now, I
context,
think I'd
it's the
recommend it a
lockdown
little bit
homes.
more
It's
wholeheartedly than
escaping
when
the
it first
building
came
or
out. But
leaving, and
it had some
pretty
trouble
shitty
when it
world
first
like
came out. It
everyone
was
else knew, but
extremely
I
grindy,
wouldn't want
and
to
it
hiss my
didn't
story.
signpost
with you on that,
the
Emily.
upgrades in a way that was useful. Like it would tell you how much an upgrade, like how much a technique would cost, but not what level
What
you
is it?
had to be to get
This
to use
building,
it,
the bureau
which
headquarters, the
was
oldest
really
house,
unfriendly. And I think
a
they
shifting
fixed that, and I
place.
think they adjusted some of the
We've seen it.
prices and
Sounds
or
as
like
physical
experience
as
levels, like the amount of
I've
experience you
been to
need
New
to
York a
to
few
gain
times.
levels. So I
Yeah.
How
think
didn't I
I would
notice this
I would
place?
I would recommend that
It's an
game more
attribute.
now than I did when it was
This
new.
is a
But
place
I think
where
River City
the
Girls
oldest
looks like
house doesn't
it's
like attention
going to
unless
be
you're purposely
very
trying to find
good,
it,
and
Mhm.
which is
I'm
perfect
really
for
into
us.
that.
Hopefully,
Uh,
you can find
Also,
time
I
to
just
play
like
it.
the
Well, there's
right.
that the new
Understood.
game, the new
The Bureau prefers
horror
the
adventure
forest.
thing from the people that made
Strong walls to
Until
make sure
Dawn
no
is
kids
out
get
now
lost.
too.
Yeah, that's Man of
Something I've
Medan.
never
I
Yeah.
was talking
heard
about that a minute
before.
ago. Yeah, that's part of their dark anthology or
Yeah.
whatever the hell it's called.
I love
Yeah, I've
that. I
heard
love that. Like this game is uh, like a little bit.
Country and a little bit rock and
No,
roll.
what's the book about the house that has the crazy basement in it?
This trench
House of
run.
Leaves.
House of Leaves?
Yeah, it's a little bit of that going on with this building.
See a ghost haunting me?
Yeah, I suppose. I never actually read that
Ghost in the
book.
traditional
I
sense.
I never finished it
flipped-
because it gets a little
yeah.
See, if he was
too into the
killed by
weeds
service
in some
weapon, you're
places,
young.
but
Maybe it's his final
Mike
shot.
says
Was
he's
really
excited
good.
to play 500 hours of RPGs on the Switch,
His
but
pose
he's
like
not
that.
talking to us for some reason.
That's just a hypothesis on my part.
The big
It
jerk.
may have begun
He
he's
doesn't
waiting
like
for
us.
his son to go to bed, I think.
You better hold
Yeah,
on to
I'm
that given
sure
the
he does.
Yeah.
circumstances.
Play Tokyo Mirage
Yeah.
Sessions and fuck all the rest.
Yeah.
It's super light and it has like a lot of the things that I like about Persona without I didn't from the 30-ish hours I played of it, I didn't see any garbage. It was mostly just
Don't worry, I love going
teens wanting to be cool and dance and sing and save the world. Also, there's like weird there's like a weird astral plane in that game that is full of the spirits
Fire
of
Emblem
Fire Emblem characters, which is fucking crazy.
Mike says if he does find time to play one, it will be Tokyo Mirage
Yay.
Sessions.
Got it.
F sharp or whatever.
Yeah.
The full.
So HRA stop you from
That's
getting
his.
pissed.
That's one of those things that's so weird that it exists.
What's that? Oh, Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking wild. That was really the reason that I
Like
played
not only
it.
is
I
it
was not
Persona,
interested in
Fire
it.
Emblem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not, but it doesn't even have like that many elements of either of those games in it.
Doesn't the timing
Right.
seem suspicious?
It's about pop stars.
Yeah, and it mostly takes
Mike-
place in downtown Tokyo, so it's I don't know, it's weird.
Mike wants to know what your graphics card is.
It's a 2080, so it's like the
He says the mouth animations on this woman are terrifying, and I'm inclined to agree with him.
it's the one that's too expensive, but it's not like $1,300 too expensive.
Thanks, Emily.
Well, that's good.
I'm sure I'll have more questions soon.
Just let me know.
That's a hell of a shirt that she's wearing, by the way,
Emily or my character?
Emily. Like it's got like a it
The cuff
almost
and
has
the
like a cloak
collars.
top.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. Yep. Mike says he's definitely interested in this game, but afraid the old 1060 won't be able to hack it.
I don't know. You'd probably be able to play it. I've heard that it doesn't run great on base PlayStation 4s.
Well, I'm gonna find out. I'll let you know.
Okay. I've heard that it's like playable but not great. Pretty like. All right. So where am I trying to get to?
I think he's asleep now,
Hey.
Hey, Mike.
but like just barely.
What's up, Mike?
Hey,
A welcome
well,
message.
That carpet looks. It doesn't look how do I put this?
Like a carpet.
It looks like the carpet from The Shining, but not. You know what I mean? Like it's got the orange lines on the red.
Which? Oh, the one in this hallway back here.
The one in the hallway. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's like a weird maze, but
Yeah. Not
it
quite
doesn't
like the
give
sort
it
of
doesn't tip
honeycombs of
off
The
about
Shining
the
carpet, but-
faked of the faking of the moon landing the way the carpet in The Shining does.
It's true. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Just for the record, the moon landing is real.
It's just-
That's a great. It's a great fucking ridiculous and stupid conspiracy theory video. I mean, it's like a whatever. It's like a movie, right? What the hell is that called?
Well, that's room 236 or whatever. Yeah, that's a good document. That documentary is fantastic because not only is there the person who thinks that The Shining is an admission that Kubrick helped fake the moon landing, there's a bunch of other people who have similarly insane ideas about what The Shining is actually about, including
good.
the person who talks about all the secret boners in The Shining.
I love secret
Which is
boners.
wonderful. Yeah, like there's the one that sticks out in my mind is
Is that a stapler or an altered
Right.
item? Don't take office equipment outside of the building.
there's a scene early in The Shining when the guy who's giving Jack the job, like the manager of the hotel,
Avoid modern technology.
he leans over and he has one of those old school like sort of desk mailboxes, and it lines up with his crotch. So this guy is like, look at he's got a big metal boner because of the way he's standing, and like this is just one of many hidden boners in The Shining, and like it's
Oh, so he's not trying to hide a boner. It's Kubrick putting a boner in
right.
by
Right.
superimposing
Boner
an
image.
object in front of this guy's penis.
Yes, boner imagery, right?
Oh.
Hidden boner imagery. That unless you're extremely attuned to seeking out hidden boner imagery, you would not know this. Or if like you were a normal person just watching a movie, because like usually when there's dick imagery in a movie, it's pretty fucking on the nose. It's hard to miss, like, you know, phallic symbols in films, generally speaking. So, but yeah, you should watch that documentary if that kind of thing interests you, because the moon landing person is probably my favorite, just because that's like the most ridiculous shit. Like they're like, oh, and you're in the scene when they're in the pantry with Scatman Crothers. There's Tang on the shelf. And Tang is the drink the astronauts took to the moon.
Supposedly,
Ergo, and it's right.
there's rocket ships on the kid's pajamas, and the way he
Right.
yeah,
Right. Not that like Tang is just a thing that would commonly be in a
was
pantry.
extremely popular
It's
because
wearing
of the space
Right.
program, right?
Yeah. And kids wearing rocket ship pajamas is just like an evergreen normal thing that kids do because they're kids.
Yeah,
and they
but
think
Joe, Stanley Kubrick was very careful about everything he put in his movies, so there has to be some hidden meaning.
Right. I mean, he was, but there is also an element of that that's overstated. Like I've heard interviews with actors that worked with him and stuff, and they're like, he did let our actors improvise, and if they did something good, he would keep it, and like, et cetera, et cetera. He was not this like extremely fastidious person that Hollywood legend would sort of have you believe. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that movie is fun and interesting,
Yeah.
but I don't believe anything anybody in it says.
It's one of those fun, weird documentaries like, what's there's the one about the Star Trek fans and,
That's because it's called Trekkies. Isn't
yeah,
it?
the Trekkies and the Trekkers and the,
Well, Bruce
what's
Campbell directed a short
or like
film.
F for Fake is like in that
Yeah.
category for me, or, what's the one about the American movie is like that? Apparently
American
there's,
Those guys are from Milwaukee.
yeah,
a
that
lot
movie's
of-
fucking great. That's a fucking great
Oh.
movie. Can't call it. You can't say it's Coven because it rhymes with oven, so you have to call it Coven.
Sounds like Oven
Yeah.
Man, and that ain't cool.
Yeah.
Mark Borchardt. That a lot of the interviews in that movie were shot like where I used to hang out in college because those guys like hung out on the UWM film, like around the film school, and so like some of the interviews with his buddy. Now I don't remember his
shit.
name.
I thought maybe I could run through that, but apparently it just kills me.
Like he's sitting in like a common area at UWM that I used to like also sit in like when I went to school there. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm trying to think of other documentaries that sort of fit in that.
So
mold as well.
the reason that I've been thinking about those recently is that there's one that just came out on Hulu about the amazing Jonathan, who I don't know
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
I
guys
heard
are.
that's really good.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but he's like a weird. He was like a
Comedian.
magician that does comedy, but
Yeah.
his whole act was mostly him just like taking all these weird tropes about magic and then like doing like clever subversions of the magic tricks
There it
and
is again.
making those
The
into
welcome
jokes.
message.
Right.
And he's also was like super immature and goofy, and it was one of my favorite comedy specials. Were his one that was on Comedy Central in like whatever the late '90s.
Yeah.
I used to love that. And supposedly there's a new documentary that comes out starring him. He was diagnosed with like some kind of heart condition and told that he only had like a year to live, and then he's still alive, and that was like 3 or 4 years ago. And so this guy, he retired, and then this guy trying to shoot a documentary about him, and then Jonathan also gives another group of people permission to shoot a documentary about him. So this guy is like, this one guy is hanging out with this team of people that is like they had won awards and worked with HBO and made some like more famous documentaries. So he's like documenting the documentarians following Jonathan
So,
around.
Who
And,
does documentarian?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
yeah,
actually.
and then supposedly like the first act is like normal documentary stuff, and then the second act is him documenting the documentary guys, and then the third act, like everything goes completely off the rails. But I don't
Yeah,
know
I
the
feel like
details.
I feel
He did an interview on a podcast I listened to, the director, but he was extremely cagey about that stuff because he did not want to give away exactly what happened. So
The individual guy or the director who's part of the HBO team?
no, the guy that made the documentary. The guy that made the one that's on Hulu. The other one isn't out yet.
Okay. So yeah, I feel like I heard Penn Jillette said that was very good.
Yes,
and
but
he's-
I'd heard it compared to F for Fake and American Movie and stuff like that. So,
I mean, F for Fake is a little different because of Orson Welles'
Yes.
presence there. Like,
right.
you know,
But I don't know.
Oh,
F for
yeah.
Fake is fucking awesome, by the way. That's another amazing thing. Anyways.
I saw. Speaking of movies, I saw Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade and Raiders of the Lost Ark in a movie theater
Cool.
this weekend. And
I mean, those are the two
movies
to
were
see.
Really good. Yeah, right. Exactly. They're real good. Like those movies cut a pace that is just like you forget like how fast those movies move. There is like almost no downtime in either of those films. It's just like moving from set piece to set piece, like with a sort of weird effortlessness that only someone like as skilled as Steven Spielberg can do, which is weird because I actually don't like Steven Spielberg all that much. I think he's an extremely talented director. He just makes movies out of a lot of scripts that I really don't give a shit about. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
like
They have like a
just-
limp sentimentality to them that I
Yeah.
can't imagine you being. I mean, I like some of those movies. Like,
Right.
I think E.T. is a great movie. But oh, here we go.
But some of his movies, I really like his Indiana Jones. Well, I like two of the Indiana Jones movies.
I like
a lot.
I like Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom's all right.
I mean, I get it. It's super racist and has a
It
lot of
is super
problematic
racist.
stuff in it. But
But even then,
check
it's
out
just
that
not-
fucking
it doesn't-
floppy disk.
Mm-hmm.
Writing in the Cold War.
80 kilobytes. Holy shit. It's just for me. My problem. I mean, yes, I acknowledge those things as well, but Temple of Doom also, like the other indie movies, or the two very good ones at least, have this like globe-trotting sensibility where it's like, you know, he starts in the U.S. or in the first one, like he starts in South America, then he goes home to the U.S., then he goes to Nepal, then he goes to Africa, and you know, like there's all this, and like Temple of Doom, it's like he starts in China, then he's in India for the whole movie.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I
and,
mean, they go
you
to
know,
some
Last
pretty
Crusade is
cool
the same way.
places,
Like
and-
Last,
Yeah.
I mean, sure, but
We're on the right track.
but you know, it's so there's that. But yeah, but he's also like, I mean, I also Megan and I went to see Schindler's List last December in the theater for a revival screening, and
That's a tough sit through.
I was gonna say that's a really good movie that I'm not sure I ever need to watch
Nope.
again.
One time's
That is
enough.
just, like,
It's tough to watch, and it's also really, really long.
yeah,
Object
Um,
of power.
But I mean, you can't deny that it's a well-made film.
yeah. I mean, it's an amazing film, and Liam Neeson, like, I think he won that Oscar, and if he did, he definitely deserved it. I don't know. I can't think of who would have won it instead of him, so I'm pretty sure he won it. He is really good in that movie, but it's like, yeah, it's a rough
Almost
watch.
as good as he is in Taken.
Yeah, almost.
Almost.
The two
If he'd-
poles of the
if he'd-
leads and the
If he'd throat chopped more Nazis,
Oh,
I
man.
would have really. Yeah, but speaking of not documentary, but did either of you guys watch the Chernobyl miniseries that was on HBO earlier this year?
I did
Ooh.
not, but my brother did and said that he liked it quite a bit. So
We just finished it. It's really good, but also like, holy shit, man! Like, it's a hard watch because not even just because you see people with like their skin melting off from radiation burns, but like there's just some stuff in there that I never knew about what happened in the aftermath of Chernobyl and
Yeah.
sort of how people, like, there are people who were very legitimately heroes who saved a lot of people's lives and did it at the expense of a lot of years that they might have otherwise lived that they did not live because they did those things. And the Soviet government really did not treat those people in a way that was commensurate with what they did for their countrymen. And even not for their not countrymen, right? Because that reactor was in such bad shape that, like, I didn't realize that there was a moment where they were like, if we don't do a particular thing very quickly, there is a chance that this reactor is not just going to melt down, it's going to explode. And it's going to explode in a way that will be like equivalent to like 10 Hiroshima bombs being dropped in Ukraine at once. And you know, they get a bunch of people and they're basically like, you guys have to help with this, and like, you're probably going to die just from doing this because it's so radioactive down there, but like, if someone doesn't do it, there's a possibility that millions of people are going to die because of it. And like, those guys actually survived. 2 of the 3 who did that particular action survived, shockingly, are still alive today, believe it or not. But then they get a bunch of miners to, like, basically to stop the melting reactor from melting into the groundwater, which would feed like all of Eastern Europe, essentially. Like, if that happened, the water would not be drinkable for a very sizable portion of Europe. And so all these miners are going underneath the reactor,
right,
that's
to
a
help build
meltdown.
that sarcophagus, right?
Right. Yeah. Right. And it's like, at one point, you know, the miner foreman or whatever, like, goes to the party, the Communist Party guy, played by Stellan Skarsgård, and he's like, will they be looked after?
I have to
when
cleanse
we're
this
done?
giant floppy disk. Hang on.
Let's cleanse it, man.
This game is
That
fucking awesome. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
This game rules.
Oh, here we go. Launch
But yeah,
telekinesis. Hello.
But yeah, anyways, basically, you know, he's like, I don't know if they'll be looked after. And spoilers, they weren't. The Soviet government did not take care of those people, many of whom died very young of cancer because, you know, they were underneath a melting down nuclear reactor. Anyways, it's 5 episodes. I recommend it. It's very good. It's also, but like I said, it's a hard watch because
Oh, hell yes.
a lot of
Oh my god, yes.
bad stuff happens.
Oh yeah.
I'm not watching the screen right now, but should I? Should be ready
Shit's
to
getting
see
good,
Plus?
man.
Eric just got the ability to telepathically throw objects now, so.
Hell yeah.
Align the cube thingamajig.
This game's
always wanted a
this
video
game is
game to just tell me
extremely
that.
good. Yeah,
I really just wanted a video game to tell me like, yeah, just the fucking the thingamajig, just fucking
just
do
put it in
man.
the thing. You know, it's a video game. You know what to do. Come on.
Man, speaking of Mario Galaxy, this is giving me
Yeah, these
like
these
Mario-
weird abstract
Mario
levels.
Sunshine bonus stage / like some of the Mario Galaxy level vibes for sure. Excuse
I
me.
like reflections on the floor there. Is that the ray tracing?
It's
Yeah.
that ray tracing.
Man, if I ever meet that Ray guy, I'm gonna shake his hand.
Can I pick up dudes and throw them into other dudes?
I'm gonna guess you have to earn
Probably
that
yeah, to
separate.
earn that. Yeah. Whoa. Okay, I picked up that block that was behind that guy and it killed him. So that's pretty good.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's good.
Hey, you guys should play this game. That's my official stance as of this moment.
I'm,
Well, like I
I'm
said, it's on
definitely
my
interested.
game like you.
Because I don't know if it'll run well, I'm gonna wait a little while. Maybe they can patch the performance a bit, and maybe the price will come down a little bit. I
Maybe.
still want to take a chance on it at full price, not
Yeah.
knowing if it'll work.
I mean, that's
That's-
reasonable.
That's very reasonable.
Also, you know it'll be like $40 in a month anyways, so...
Yeah, exactly. By
It's
then,
not,
they might
at this
have-
point, if it's not a Nintendo first-party game, like it's gonna
Yeah.
be cheap.
Especially anything on
Month.
PC. Like,
Yeah, there's a big sale right now on.
I just ripped out a chunk of the wall. Hell
I think the Humble Store is having a big sale. If anybody hasn't played Resident Evil 2 yet, it's on sale for like $40.
that's a good game
I mean,
too.
I
That,
have played Resident Evil 2 like 15 years ago
this,
or whenever.
this new one is really good.
The new one is really good.
Yeah.
It's
Emily said that the hot.
I mean, I sunk a lot of time into the new one. It's really good.
I played through with both characters. It was totally worth it.
I got S+ ranks on hardcore difficulty with both characters.
Oh, well, we're all
I
impressed.
played a lot of that game. Oh man, that's good. That's a real good video game.
I like it.
I like it.
You know what I like? Also,
Being able to lift up water bottles and throwing them
I
at
like throwing
people.
things at dudes. Oh man. My stream's a little chunky.
Yeah, it just got chunked out of.
I wonder if
eBay.
my processor is getting hot.
This must open the door.
Nice mouth.
So Eric, I don't want to talk about this too long because I don't want Mike to fall asleep.
Uh-huh.
But I just want to point out: have you seen that they're actually doing a thing with Sasha Banks where she's actually a heel and she gets to talk and have a personality?
Oh no. I heard that,
Yeah.
that she'd become a heel, so that's good, but
Who knows how long it will last?
Yeah.
But right this moment, it's pretty good.
this seems like just like an attempt
minute.
to I heard she changed the color of her hair, so that's why she's evil.
Yes, she has purple hair instead of blue hair now. Or wait, she has blue
God
hair
damn
instead
her.
of purple hair now.
Purple hair.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Blue hair is always evil. Sounds like maybe Bailey is also
Yes, Bailey is also evil. They
oh,
beat the
man.
shit out of Becky
I need to
Lynch.
kill someone with this broom. Man, there is a lot of territory to explore here. I might have to start this over again after the stream is over, just so I can like peek more into the corners and stuff.
Yeah, this is always my problem with playing a new game on the stream. Is I'm always like I want to experience it while I'm not talking
Yeah.
to another person or an audience and watching a chat and like this, that, and the other. Like that was the thing about like I was thinking about like, oh, I should get Telling Lies and then play it on the stream, and I'm like, but I can't, like, you can't even play that game on the stream unless you don't talk to anybody. You have to listen to what everybody's saying in all the clips. Like that is an integral part of playing the game. So what's the point of playing it on stream?
I got a solution for you. Record it as a video and then
Oh
post
damn.
Yeah, could do that. Didn't you and Anthony do a thing, Mike? I'm waiting with bated breath over here.
it. We did do a thing. It's on the website. You should look up your website.
You should promote it.
Well, we recorded a second one, and I think when I post that one, I'll promote it a little bit more. But yeah, we started playing Oxenfree.
I finally remembered to archive your stream from the other night, the Dicey Dungeons one, also.
Oh, super!
So
That's great. I won that game while we were playing.
I know that's the
Did I?
screenshot.
Good.
I guess I should probably change the screenshot.
Spoilers, Mike wins.
Yeah.
No, it's great. It'll be
Oh yeah,
like
just says you win.
pro strats, top level player, winning at the Dicey Dungeons. I'm actually playing that game right now, and it unlocked the last of the characters, and it's super weird, and also it's kind of Slay the Spire.
Great.
The last character is?
Yeah, the last character you actually build a deck.
Oh, really? Alright, that sounds good. I gotta play. Man, when the fuck am I gonna have time to play that game?
I don't know, man. I don't
Gears
know.
comes out tomorrow.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's just gonna be like there showing up in your thing.
Yeah,
Fuck Game
yep.
Pass.
I technically already own it, I guess, or not own it, but I can
Is it
play it
unlock
for the
at
next
midnight?
3
Like,
years.
can you play
I
it
have
in
no
like an
idea
hour
if I
and
can.
45 minutes?
I don't
or-
know if I can
Or not,
download
45
it or
minutes, I
not.
guess.
The
So you
noise
have-
that things make when you pick them up via telekinesis is really awesome. They go like whoop. I gotta run.
Well, this Kraken's just shutting me down, though.
Oh, Mike even put his location in the Oxenfree video
Yeah, I don't know why. I
information.
find it really funny to put that in, so I just do.
What's that?
Fancy.
Put your location when you upload a video. You can tag where it was recorded.
Oh, nice. So how'd that go anyway? Pretty good?
I think it went good. I mean, what playing Oxenfree?
Yeah, I never played that. I always wanted to. So I was wondering how it was.
I
Well, we
feel
haven't
like I
finished it. We've
don't
been playing
actually
2 hours
know.
so far. So I mean, it's a story-based adventure game. What's funny about it is that you have direct control over your character. You move around with WASD, but at the same time, most of the maps are basically like it's like you're following a line drawn on the ground. Like you can't move freely usually. So it's kind of weird that they give you WASD control. I'm guessing it's because it was designed to play on consoles.
Yeah, I mean, didn't some of the later LucasArts games do that? Like, I feel like Grim Fandango, I haven't played the PC version.
Grim
but
Fandango was tank controls,
you had-
man.
Yeah, right, but you had direct control. You weren't clicking
Yes.
to move Manny. Yeah.
Well, it was tank controls on like pre-rendered backgrounds. It was like Resident Evil, except
Right,
way, way worse.
But fortunately, there's nothing to shoot or like have to avoid,
Yeah.
so it's not
Let's
that
stay
big of a
focused.
deal.
It sucked.
Should be past the mail now.
Which is a shame because that's a fucking great game. The re-release of that fixes a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to get that and
All the other
Full Throttle.
re-releases, yeah.
Yeah, and Day of the Tentacle, I guess. Yeah, we should get all of those. Really.
Alright, so I go try and get to the hotline room. And then I'll call it here. Seems like I'm almost there, maybe. What are... Oh, these are like pneumatic tubes. That's what all those things are. Oh, man. I love
Get your
pneumatic
bank
tubes.
deposit in there and
Yeah.
send it off.
I'm a fucking sucker for pneumatic tubes.
That's like
Brazil.
I was gonna say this is like Brazil.
Yeah.
Like
See if Robert De Niro is blown away by the...
see if
Stack of
Bob
papers.
Hoskins is
Yeah.
coming to
Yeah.
fix your heating.
Alberto Tomasi.
But you did just make sure that if he tries to come in without a 27B stroke 6, you can make him leave. Oh man, Bob Hoskins was such a good actor. It's that,
Roger Rabbit.
yeah, I was just
One
after
of the rare
watching.
perfect movies.
Yeah,
The
hotline.
one
can't
of the
be
one of the rare perfect satires that is not only a fantastic satire but also a perfect, like a functionally the thing it is satirizing as well, as a satire of that thing. But yeah, I was thinking about that movie after I saw the 2 Indiana Jones movies. I was like, man, there were some 30s period pieces going on in the 90s, and now I just want to watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because, or the 90s, I guess, the late 80s, I should say.
Whoa! I
Um,
died, I guess.
Also, Eric, you might be interested to know. I guess it doesn't really matter because it was already technically on YouTube, but the official MST3K YouTube channel put a high quality version of a joke by Ingrid Bergman on their official YouTube account. So
Good shit. I'm glad that
Oh,
there's
man.
a fucking high res version of that now for people to
Yeah.
watch, and not just that VHS rip.
Yep,
It's good.
yep, it's real good. It's extremely good.
All right, take this down.
So this TV that we bought has a channel on it that's just riff tracks 24/7.
Really?
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is really weird.
It's an app or it's like a.
It's like a streaming thing that's built into the TV.
Yeah.
It's like
I still have it
Netflix and
But like, does it play the movie that goes along with
Yeah.
it, or do you just hear the audio?
I don't know all the different ones.
It's
that
probably
there
just
are,
the
but-
low budget. It's probably just the ones that were cheap to license, right? You're probably not going to get like
Whoa!
fucking Harry Potter.
I'm in the Ocean View Motel and Casino.
I've stayed at a lot of roadside motels
That
across
sounds
the
nice.
country. On the road, on the run,
Man,
under the radar.
holy shit! This fucking game.
All of them, like.
What do you think of this game?
I think it's pretty cool.
I'm dropping this video in the chat, by the way. So, Mike, if you want to watch the 4-minute joke by Ingrid Bergman, or Ingmar Bergman, I should say, you should watch that. That's one of my favorite sketches from that show.
These
It's
hotel rooms don't have bathrooms
so good. That's how you can tell it's a dream.
in them. Here's the casino. Let's try. I'll ring the bell again. Look how my goal is just traverse the Ocean View Motel.
What was that? Wasn't that the name of the? What was the name of the hotel in Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines? What's the name of the?
If I pull this chain again, does it take me? Does it change anything? Oh, okay. Notice catalyst. Ocean View Motel and Casino entry point. Catalyst light switch. The law of 3 applies. Okay. Oh, here we go. This has got a picture of a black pyramid on it, so... Oh, it's locked. Okay, maybe there's a key by the desk? What if I try ringing the bell from this side?
Do we know how long this game is? Is this a 12-hour affair,
I
or
have
is
no
this like
idea.
a 30-hour affair?
I want to say Alan Wake was like 8, 10 something. I would guess probably in that. Is this? Oh, here we go.
Key has a black pyramid on
Was
it.
were these different doors opening when I was hitting that bell? Maybe is that what was happening?
I could not say.
Oh yeah, okay. Neat. Fucking dope. Oh man. All right.
It's really, if the rooms don't have bathrooms, it's like more of a hostel than
Yeah,
a
it's
hotel.
not a great hotel, right? Okay, it looks like
Because the
it's-
last time I stayed in a place where I had to share a bathroom with people who were not in the same room as me, it was at a hostel. So
Yeah, like a bed
That's-
and breakfast or whatever. All right, let's see what's in the. So, okay, there's different doors here. There's one like an infinity symbol, black pyramid, and a spiral. Well, let's go in the pyramid door. Let's see what's in there, and then we'll call it a a thing here.
We'll call it a thing.
It's a painting of me standing in a thing.
What's behind the Dreamcast door, though? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. You go in there and you play Swirl.
Play Dreamcast.
Sega
Yeah, play
Swirl.
Sega Swirl.
Let's say Mitsurugi.
All right, let's go pick up the
Oh, I will
hotline.
say on the subject of fighting games that the reveal for the Terry Bogard in
That was really
Super Smash
good.
Ultimate was very well
I
done.
didn't actually see the
You should-
reveal.
You should check that out. It's real good.
I should
Yeah.
watch that.
I don't even want to tell you what it is because it's pretty fun.
Does it involve the 100 Mega Shock?
They do play the Neo Geo BIOS startup at some point. I don't feel like that's a huge spoiler.
That's probably not a huge spoiler.
And so shiny. Can't wait till I can afford for video games to be shiny.
Soon, Mike.
Oh, you were invited to Smash.
Well, so the thing with that I'm kind of thinking at this point is I'm not sure I'm going to buy another graphics card.
Not actual gameplay footage.
I think what I'm more likely to do is to just buy a PlayStation 5 when they drop.
Yeah, I was gonna say they'll be cheap. Like you'll be able to get probably decent ones for a not absorbent price in the not too distant future. Hopefully.
What, good graphics cards?
Yeah.
Well, like the whole RTX series, 2000 series is still pretty expensive, and like it'll get a little better next year when whatever the next versions are that come out. But I don't expect
That's
it'll
just
still
a-
be cheap for probably like 3 more years.
Ah.
Whereas I'm kind of interested in getting a PlayStation 5 anyway, and I wouldn't be surprised if the PlayStation 5 only costs a hair more than just buying a decent graphics card will when it comes out. So I don't know. It's also like I'm hoping to get my fancy TV this year. It'll be 4K, and so the PlayStation 5 will be designed to do a pretty reasonable facsimile of 4K stuff.
Hopefully. Might have to wait for the PlayStation 5 Pro. Who can say?
Well, we'll see. The 4 Pro is already mostly it upscales stuff to 4K, right?
Yeah.
But kind of nicely. Like it's I don't know, man.
I don't know.
My
I don't
current
have a
plan- my current
4K
plan, I don't
thing.
wanna
I guess I
spend
guess we do
$600.
now, but I haven't really messed with it.
Yeah, you guys are right. That reveal was very good. That was extremely good, especially given all the rumors that were going and everybody like pontificating about who they thought it would be. Even though I think it was pretty obvious it was going to be Terry all along, because like they don't have a more recognizable character than fucking Terry Bogard. But
Should have been Athena.
I mean, I liked Coffee's idea of like it should be the Metal Slug characters, and then they can be like the Dragon Quest hero, where there's a costume
Yeah.
for
Different
Theo and Irma, and yeah,
Too
but,
gun
like,
based. I can't see them doing like the Persona guy has a gun kind of, but I can't see them putting in a person who's so gun heavy.
Made a whole game where Mario has a gun.
It's
Nintendo
true.
loves guns.
It's like a Mega Man gun arm more than anything. But I mean, I think it was pretty obvious it was going to be Terry, because Terry is. I mean, just like the Street Fighter character was obviously going to be Ryu, and there's a skin for Ken, but like I just don't see
No, Ken's an alternate character.
or whatever. Yeah,
Echo Fighter.
Echo Fighter, like Richter Belmont, right?
Yeah.
But like, I didn't see them going any direction besides Terry, because if this is a game about like putting all these iconic characters into like the most iconic SNK character at this point is 100% Terry. So, which is cool. I like Terry. I think Terry's awesome. So I'm all for it. And it also sounds like they're keeping his like bad Englishy voice samples in there,
Yeah.
which is great because that's like an important part of the Terry Bogard experience. Although I'm sad we're not going to get a rocket launch here.
You never know. Maybe there'll be like a trophy or something. Rocket
that's-
launcher.
Speaking of that, I told Eric before we started recording, I'm finally getting the Neo Geo I've been lusting after since I was like 9 years old. It's finally happening, Mike.
Dang.
I can reach
The AVS.
Listen to
No,
Arcade. Wait, which one's the arcade version?
the MVS.
Okay.
Yes, I got a 1-slot MVS board that is going to slot into my Super Gun that is on order right now.
Speaking of being gun based.
Yeah, the MVS board was only $37, so
That's dirt cheap.
it's really cheap. They're the single slot, the MVC, or sorry, the MV1B and 1C are pretty cheap. You can get them for less than $50 pretty regularly.
And I know the arcade cards cost less, but are they reasonable or are they like super expensive?
So they're more reasonable, but they've been going up in price. My solution to that was actually just to buy a flash cart, like
Right.
an EverDrive. Basically, I bought tonight. In fact, right before I got on, I paid for what is functionally a Neo Geo EverDrive. So
Right.
that's the route I'm going.
And are you going to be hooking that up to a CRT or to a?
I will be running the Super Gun. Will be running through my FrameMeister, so it'll be
Right,
running
right.
to my flat panel. I've been on the lookout for. I was more directly on the lookout for a CRT a little while ago. Lately, it's sort of been downgraded to a peripheral thing. I really do want to get a nice CRT at some point that has like component input because I want to play light gun games, but I'm not.
Input?
Did you get the hotline?
Yes.
Get that on a lot of CRT TV, like an HD.
Not on a lot of
CRT
them.
TV?
No, I used to have an HD tube. They don't work with light guns either. But there are later standard CRTs that do have component
People who knew the Bureau's
input.
secrets.
Those are sort of the peripheral things that like that, and I'm trying to get. There are some late era VCRs that have HDMI out, believe that or not, and I have a bunch of old tapes that I need to digitize. So I've been sort of peripherally looking for a decent VCR with HDMI out. Because
That's
believe it or
gotta
not,
look so weird.
it kind of does. There are some YouTube channels that have like the My Life in Gaming guys have digitized a bunch of like old promotional tapes and stuff, and Corey uses one of these VCRs, and it looks a little weird, but it looks better than if you just dumped it at 240 and then let YouTube upscale it on its own. You know, like so it doesn't look perfect, but it looks functional. It looks better. You know, it's not artifacted in the way that when you digitally upscale it after the fact, like it gets really artifacty and it looks like shit kind of, but this is not, it doesn't look like that when you do it this way. And I would do it through the FrameMeister, but apparently the way like VCR tracking works, the FrameMeister does not get along with VCRs very well because it loses sync when the tracking gets fucked up, which on old VHS tapes is frequent all the time. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Those are sort of like I said, the CRT and the nice VCR are sort of peripheral. The VCR is that's got to get bumped to the front of the line at some point though, because I have a bunch of my old wrestling matches that I only have on VHS, and I would really kick the shit out of myself if I lost something happened to those tapes before I digitized them, because there would be no way for me to get a lot of that stuff back. So,
right,
something about that. But
well, I just remember I
anyways.
have to get up extra early tomorrow, so I'm going to leave you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna end this now anyway.
Yeah, I think we can wind it down. But have a good night, Mike. Thanks
Mike.
for showing up.
Bye.
Bye. But yeah, Control looks pretty good. I'm into this. I'm looking forward to trying it myself.
Good. Department of Maintenance.
Oh, hey, the janitor's back. I feel like this is a lot
What the
weirder
fuck?
than I kind of expected it would be. Not that Remedy makes super normal games, but like I didn't think it would be this weird. Which I'm into it, you know. But
All right. Well, that's it for this edition of On the Stick After Dark. We'll be back with something else next week, probably. There's a lot of video games out. So.
yeah, there's so many video games for us to get to, so
Who knows? Could be anything. I might stream some Gears tomorrow night too. Maybe I can get Kurt to play some of that new co-op thing with me. But anyways,
there's a new co-op thing.
yeah, there's like a 3-player horde mode thing I don't know.
Oh, nice.
But anyways, that's it for tonight. Goodbye.
Night, everybody.